понедельник в Севастополь приехало кубанское казачье войско. Они приехали в Севастополь для охраны россиян, граждан Севастополя, чтобы не было никакого кровопролития.
Крим наш дом! Крим наш дом!
Це військовослужбовці Збройних сил Російської Федерації, які на сьогоднішній день блокували нашу військову частину.
Государственный и военно-морской флаги Российской Федерации поднять!
To be honest, many reporters came running then. I was standing in the front row. I thought they were going to beat us. They were running so fast. It was to film us. I was told someone was going to take a shot at your head with that tripod. But no, they just started filming me. I am angry at these Russians, and at all of them, for what they have done. The conflict should have been resolved differently. We're in the city of Odessa at the Western Naval Military Base, where part of the naval forces of Ukraine's armed forces are based. This is the largest naval base in the region. The ships here are tasked with different projects and are engaged in different activities. This is an anti-sabotage boat, the Hromadske. This boat is designed for anti-sabotage defense on the base station and of ships on an unprotected floating depot. I had a friend, Kostya. He always wanted to become a pilot and I always wanted to become a sailor. We often dreamed that he would be flying a fighter plane, land on an aircraft carrier and ask, "Who is the commander here?" And they'd say to him, "Pavlo Hladchenko." "Oh, that's my friend." We always dreamed about that, and, in principle, that's how it happened. Only he is now piloting a military helicopter, and I am the commander of a ship. I believe that my boat has a soul. I worked out during these past 2 years that I've spent twice as much time on the boat, 3 times as much even, than I did at home. Where you spend the most time is where your home is. Koba, come here. The dog on our boat is called Koba. He is our comrade, so to speak, a mascot for the boat. He comes out to sea with us and performs various tasks. He took a specialized training course. He can dive to a depth of 15 meters and save people who are drowning in the water. From the moment the dog came on board, the crew's morale and psychological state significantly improved. I needed a friend like him, and I brought him onto the ship. Everyone was very happy. He's become accustomed to the team, so to speak, and this is good. On February the 23rd, 2014, I went on military leave with my friends. They let us go. I see some cars driving around with these tricolor flags. They are fanatically driving these cars through the streets, speeding, shouting, whistling, waving these flags, yelling, "Hooray, Russia." I thought then, well, maybe it's some kind of Russian holiday or something. And then when we came back to school, they were saying that on Nakhimov Square, Russian people had gathered. These pro-Russian people were calling for Putin. Putin, save us from the Euromaidan morons. That was when something began to sink in. It all started quite differently at our academy. We were there the first working day back, first day of school. We were in a double lesson, writing notes, and then there was an announcement. Warning, increased combat readiness. We got given weapons, bulletproof vests. I remember the bulletproof vests were so old-fashioned. They were so ragged and battered. The helmets were not like these Kevlars, which are new. They were like these old Kazanok ones. Oh man, they were iron. Anyway, we put them on us and took us to different posts. and we were on duty with live ammunition, as expected. We were told one thing: if you noticed any movement there, or a violation of the requirements of the charter, somebody trying to infiltrate the territory, under no circumstances do you open fire to kill. And then they simply said, so, today at 4 p.m. there would be a ceremonial formation and lowering of flags. We couldn't understand what was happening. We lined up and the troop commander comes out and says, those who are for Russia, step out of formation. And this whole gang steps out, including a friend of mine from Kiev Lyceum, with whom I entered the Academy of Naval Forces. We got in together and studied together 4 years at the Kiev Lyceum. He was from just outside Kiev himself and stayed. I said to him, Lisha, what are you doing? You have a mother there, sisters, brothers. Let's go home. Ukraine is there. It's time to defend it. No, I will go serve the Russian fleet. They have large salaries. I can help my mother. We sang, then went back to the crew quarters and sat down. The commander came and began to scold us. What have you done? What kind of behavior is this? I remember one of the guys standing up and then saying, you are not our commander anymore. We will not listen to you. On April 3rd, we came to check in as we were supposed to. We were told that we would be leaving tomorrow. I like this city. I often go on walks with my wife and child. They treat Ukrainians, patriots, people who love their country well here. Not like in Sevastopol. This was back in 2014. Navy Day was still celebrated in the old way. This was the last Sunday in July. Ukrainian singer Alona Vinitska was coming here. Our course officer gave me a bouquet of flowers and said, you give them to Alona Vinitska. But I saw a beautiful girl and couldn't resist. I gave the bouquet of flowers to her.
When Pavlo and I met, I didn't immediately recognize him, right? When we spoke more and he said that they'd left Sevastopol, told me the whole story. That's when it became clear that this is the guy I had repeatedly seen on TV. When it all began, I guess I didn't initially think that it would all be like this. So there was some hope that this would end quickly and there would be no annexation of Crimea. There is no such thing in our house as women's work, or I don't do this or that. No, we do everything together. Whatever it may be, washing dishes, cooking food, helping me with the child. When I got acquainted with Pavlo, it was lovely to know one of these guys who went up against Russia, showed their view of the situation and did not betray the country.
Це не було якимось там максималізмом юнацьким.
It wasn't youthful exuberance. We made an adequate decision. It was the kind of contribution from myself to at least somehow show that we were not indifferent to the situation that had developed.
Для мене герой це дуже.
For me, hero is a very hard rank. We will prove ourselves. We will have the opportunity to show them what the naval forces of Ukraine are capable of. What my crew and me in general are capable of. We will have this opportunity.